Caillou. I'm Caillou. That's me!
Merry Christmas, everyone. A lot of you have been begging me to review the Caillou holiday movie, and I think there's no better way to celebrate Christmas than by tearing this bratty bald baby to shreds. Having watched the movie, I did notice Caillou was much more tolerable than he's been in other episodes that I've covered. But just because he wasn't a total brat, there were plenty of other reasons why this movie got under my skin. Also, please remember to subscribe. If we can hit 50,000 subscribers by New Year's, I will finally review the CG abomination that is Arthur's missing pal. So hit that subscribe button and let's delve right in. This video is brought to you by viewers like you. Thank you. Make sure to subscribe and help get this video to 4,000 likes. It's Christmas time in the craptastic Caillou neighborhood. Everyone is getting ready for the day, while Caillou's lazy ass is still in bed. He takes his sweet time getting downstairs, and accidentally steps into the white void. He decides to skip breakfast so he can go out into the snow and play. He goes to put on his winter clothes, but this pesky pussy keeps trying to get into his pants. Daddy puts a stop to his son's desire for instant hypothermia and tells him to go eat breakfast. The little bald baby is butthurt about his father's insistence to keep him warm and well fed. Caillou waltzes into the kitchen with a massive chip on his shoulder, and Mommy resists the urge to smack the sass out of his ass.
Morning.
Did someone wake up on the wrong side of the bed this morning?
No, it's the fact that he woke up at all that's the problem. Caillou feeds Gilbert, even though he's more interested in Rosie's soggy cornflakes. Girl, don't let the damn cat eat your food. Caillou finally gets his breakfast and joins his dad outside to shovel snow, but gives up after 2 seconds to start a snowball war with Rosie, which he ends up losing. Just then, Clementine shows up and the two start making snow angels, or rather, snow demons in Caillou's case. Sarah stops by to drop off an invitation for her school play. Did you say play? Caillou is excited for Santa Claus, but Sarah reminds the impatient infant that Christmas isn't for another 12 days.
What will I do until then?
I don't know, what do you usually do? Lay in bed with your thumb up your ass? We then get the theme song 4 minutes into the movie.
I'd like to say I'm Caillou.
Those aren't the right lyrics. Wait, is this a musical? Why did none of you tell me this was a goddamn musical?
I've been a good boy, so Santa don't forget.
Don't you dare fucking lie to Santa.
In the Christmas tree with lights all twinkly.
Oh dear God, there's more than one verse? The Caillou theme song is bad enough. Why do we need a version that's nearly 2 minutes long? And if you're gonna sing, could you at least open your fucking mouth? You look like you're just dancing along to the voices in your head. Guys, this is just the first 5 minutes. There's 70 minutes still to go. I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Caillou finally comes inside and leaves his winter clothes scattered on the floor like a messy little pig. He shoves his clothes into the laundry basket and accidentally locks Gilbert in the basement. Mommy reveals they'll be going to a Christmas parade in a few days, where the family will get to see Santa Claus. Caillou is excited to meet Santa so he can give him his lengthy list of demands. Caillou sets out to make his own Christmas cards when Rosie finally frees Gilbert from the basement. At least there's one good child in this family. Caillou starts to write out his cards, even though he doesn't know how to write, when Rosie comes in to dance all over his stuff. Still a good child by this family's standards. Mommy scoops up Rosie and offers to help her make a present for Caillou, but Rosie wants to do it all by herself, just like her big brother. Oh Lord, help this child. Caillou finishes his cards when Daddy brings him an advent calendar so they can count down the remaining days till Christmas. Caillou brags how he can count to 12, though I only care if he can count to 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Turns out each window in the calendar features different Christmas traditions from all around the world. Caillou struggles to open the first window with his stubby little fingers, when he finally reveals a picture of a German Christmas tree.
Would you like to hear more about it?
I don't know if we should be teaching this kid anything about Germany. Daddy then launches into a story about a German boy named Fritz, who spends all day watching lumberjacks and dreams of leaping from tree to tree as they float down the mighty rivers of British Columbia.
I put on women's clothing and hang around in bars.
Fritz and his dad head to the village to sell their trees. Fritz notices one scrawny tree left and decides to give it the full Charlie Brown treatment, which supposedly is how Christmas trees came to be. And I feel like even the movie's target audience knows this story is a load of crap, though I guess I can't be mad at a children's movie for not explaining how German Protestants used Christmas trees to replace nativity scenes, which were widely associated with the Roman Catholic Church. You know, basic kid stuff. Caillou goes to sleep and ends up dreaming about Germany. I don't like where this is going. The next morning, Caillou rushes to get dressed and ends up trapping Gilbert Gilbert behind another door. This poor cat deserves better than this shit. Caillou begs his parents to take him to buy a Christmas tree, and Daddy sneaks off to call his secret friend. Caillou asks who Daddy's friend is, and Mommy explains they have a special arrangement. The family goes for a drive, and Caillou worries his parents are finally sending him to the special farm upstate. Caillou asks if they're going to Germany. Stop telling this kid about Germany. We have enough German enthusiasts as it is. The family arrives at Jonah's farm, where the cuddly cowboy turns out to have a Christmas tree farm.
Kind of like a tree garden?
I mean, most people just call them forests. But you do you, bud. Jonah offers to let Caillou ride Ginger and Blackie, which is something you can say on a farm, but not at a strip club. Caillou goes to get a blanket from inside the barn when he stumbles across a baby horse, and asserts his dominance over the defenseless foal. The family heads into the forest, and Caillou nearly loses his sister among the trees. The two decide now is the perfect time for a game of hide and seek. Caillou is excited to play, until it's his turn to hide, and he suddenly thinks he's lost. Bitch, have you never played hide and seek before? Jonah finds the frightened 4-year-old, who admits he's now afraid of all the big scary trees, which is a totally normal way to describe trees. Jonah takes Caillou back to his parents, but not before assaulting him with a song.
There is one special tree, small and bent and hard to see.
You know, I could almost tolerate this song if they didn't insist on making Caillou sing the chorus. Caillou finds a tree that he describes as bent and tiny, as Jonah explains why size doesn't matter. No, seriously.
Whatever size, it doesn't matter. Each has different strengths.
Caillou finds his parents before Jonah can show him something else tiny and bent. Caillou insists on taking the lopsided lumber scrap home with him. They bring the tree home, and Caillou makes Daddy drag it all around so he can find the perfect spot. Daddy nearly trips over the cat as Caillou finally makes up his mind. Caillou makes a star to put on top of the tree, while Rosie makes her own gift for Gilbert. Girl, it's one thing to play with your own food, but the cats? That's just nasty. Rosie steals all the wrapping paper, while Daddy nearly gets strangled to death by the Christmas lights. Gilbert causes Daddy to fall on his ass, and Caillou laughs right in his face like the loving son he is. Even Mommy is cracking up at how pathetic her husband is. The family decorates the tree when Rosie tries to steal Caillou's ornament. In a stunning twist of events, Caillou gives his ornament to Rosie so she'll feel better. Holy shit, there might be hope for this little bald bastard yet. Caillou puts his star on top of the tree, as the family ogles over this seasonal seizure trigger. That night, Caillou dreams of meeting Santa when his mom reminds him that Christmas isn't just about presents. Since when? Mommy explains how Caillou is fortunate to have all the toys he wants, and a family who's willing to turn a blind eye to his crimes against humanity. Mommy suggests donating Caillou's unused toys, as there are many kids who would be grateful to have them, the same way I'm sure the native tribes were grateful for all those blankets. They open the next window on the advent calendar, which happens to be for Mexico. Mommy explains how it's traditional for all the kids in Mexico, and one random gringo, to put on a parade reenacting the Christmas story.
Do you want to know how to say Merry Christmas in Spanish?
Feliz Navidad tu infantil imbecile. The next morning, Caillou sorts through all his toys, when Rosie steals his rubber ducky. Caillou lets her have the duck and puts the rest of his toys in a donation box. Rosie tries to be thrifty and ends up throwing all of Caillou's belongings into the box. Now what's he supposed to wipe his ass with?
These are the toys I picked to give away.
Wow, 2 whole toys. Won't the children be thrilled? Rosie decides to steal Caillou's favorite dinosaur toy and give it to him as her Christmas gift. I'm sure he'll love it. Caillou goes to the fire station to donate his toys. The firemen all remember him from when his parents tried to abandon him after he was born. The firefighters sort through Caillou's random crapola and find one of the toys is broken, because of course he would only donate broken toys. Luckily, they find a spare wheel for the toy truck and fix it up good as new. Now that the truck is fixed, Caillou decides he doesn't want to donate it. What a shocker. Mommy convinces him to donate it once he learns to make a little boy very happy. Not sure why she had to say it like that, though. That night, Caillou can't find his dinosaur toy when his dad opens up the next window on the advent calendar. He explains how Christmas cards were created in 19th century England by boarding school children who wrote handmade letters to their parents. Leave it to the English to exploit child labor. The next day, Caillou writes a letter to Santa and sings another damn song.
But I want a fire engine. I like getting lots of toys.
His mom tells him not to be such a greedy little bastard.
Always Mimi, are you just my Mimi boy?
I believe it's pronounced meme boy. Caillou goes to mail his Christmas cards, and the mailman shows him the dumpster where all the letters to Santa go. That night, Daddy tells Caillou the story of St. Nicholas, who is known for his acts of charity, as well as inventing Ding Dong Ditch.
The family never knew who had given them the wonderful present.
Then how the hell did this story come about? I honestly wish they showed the story of him bringing 3 dead girls back to life. No, seriously. You ever Google the real St. Nick? The dude was wild.
Saint Nick taught us the importance of being kind.
I know how to be kind and thoughtful, Daddy?
Bullshit. Caillou spends the next 3 days singing a song about how it's still not Christmas. And for the love of God, open your mouth when you sing. Caillou still can't find his Rexy toy and looks for him all around the house. Why would he be in the toilet? Oh, right. He tosses all the toys onto the floor when his mom tells him to clean up his shit so they can go to the Santa parade. The family goes to the parade and gets dragged into the street by the performers. The family unfortunately isn't run over, and next head to the department store to see Santa. It's Rosie's turn to see Santa when she tells her mom she needs to go to the bathroom. I'm surprised she didn't just pee on Santa's lap. Caillou is up next and asks Santa to help him find his Rexy doll.
If I see him when I come by your house, I'll put him under the tree.
I guess Mr. Haney's principal's salary didn't cut it this year. That night, Mommy explains how, in the Soviet Russia, Christmas presents wrap you. And in Denmark, they leave Santa a dish of milk. Do kids in Denmark think Santa is a damn cat? It's 4 days till Christmas, and Caillou goes over to Leo's house to play. The two make Hanukkah cards and play hockey in the backyard. They get out on the ice and spend the whole game falling on their asses. The two head inside for hot chocolate, because Caillou loves hot chocolate. Leo explains the history of Hanukkah, and the two play dreidel with raisins. Gross. Caillou tries to hide his gifts in his room when Rosie rats him out to their mom.
Stop snitching, motherfucker!
That night, Caillou tries to get Rosie to tell what she got him for Christmas, when Daddy busts his ass. Caillou asks Mommy to sing him another song, though I think we'd all prefer if she shut that noise down. Mommy sings about how families in Greece are tormented by trickster Christmas elves. Are we sure Caillou wasn't switched at birth with one of these little bastards? The next day, Grandma comes by to drop off her gifts, and does her best not to laugh at the abomination that is Caillou's Christmas tree. The two head to the kitchen and sing a song about making cookies, cause I guess everything has to be a fucking song now.
Let's share our gifts with everyone. The young, the old, 'cause sharing's fun.
That's too much flour, Caillou. Those are gonna be some dry-ass cookies.
We share a tickle.
We share pickle.
Look, I love a good pickle tickle song as much as the next guy, but I'm gonna go ahead and skip this scene. The two finish the cookies, and Caillou decorates them with raisins. First dreidel and now this? Stop ruining the holidays the way my aunt ruins potato salad. The two head off to Grandma's retirement home to pass out the cookies. These old folks' lives are hard enough as it is without your crappy cookies. The two next play a game of Go Fish, when Caillou scares Gilbert with a picture of a dog. Dick. That night, Caillou opens another advent window, because 50% of this movie is just about this fucking calendar. Seriously, if you cut all these advent scenes, the movie would be over in 30 minutes. Daddy explains how kids around the world leave Santa snacks in their shoes. And I'm not here to culture shame, but we can all agree that's gross, right? Nobody wants an orange that smells like sweaty cheese. The next day, Caillou is excited to go to Sarah's Christmas play.
What time does it start?
3 o'clock.
Can this bitch really not count to 3? Caillou helps his dad and grandpa set up the Christmas lights, while Rosie wraps her gifts for the family. Looks like she got Daddy the butt plug he's been asking for. The family heads to the play, only to find nobody else is in the audience. Turns out Daddy's watch is broken, and they accidentally showed up an hour early. Oops. They find out one of the actors is sick, and Sarah's teacher needs another kid to fill the role. Guess who she chooses? Caillou worms his way into the school play, even though he doesn't even go to this school. He comes down with a massive case of stage fright, and barely manages to squeak out his one line.
And there is no snow. I will go.
Wait a minute, I know that voice.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Dear God, their worlds have collided. The end of days is upon us. That night, Daddy tells his son about the Christmas dinners around the world, like how people in France stuff their faces with logs full of nut cream. My kind of people. It's Christmas Eve, and Caillou leaves a plate of cookies for Santa next to the furnace. They're really trying to burn him alive, aren't they? The family sits down to Christmas dinner, and Grandpa shows Caillou the disappearing thumb trick. Whoa, how the fuck did he do that? Caillou tries to lighten the mood with the worst knock-knock joke I've ever heard.
Isidore.
Isidore who?
Is a doorbell ringing, Grandpa?
Awful. Just awful. Caillou says he's going to stay up all night to see Santa. Wanna bet? He opens the final window on the advent calendar, and Daddy recites the Christmas poem in its entirety, because I guess we gotta reach feature length somehow. Daddy's story is so boring that it instantly puts Caillou to sleep. It's finally Christmas morning, and Caillou gives his parents the most cursed paintings ever made. Caillou opens his present, and,
A space station.
I'm not the only one who sees it, right? Rosie gives out her gifts next, as Mommy and Daddy figure out who took all their stuff. Caillou finally gets his Rexy doll back, but I think we all know what his new favorite toy is. So, on the 12th day of Christmas, Caillou gave to me 12 pointless advents, 11 Christmas meltdowns, 10 tacky sweaters, 9 stolen presents, 8 creepy faces, 7 sucky sleigh rides, 6 crappy cookies, 5 awful songs, 4 broken toys, 3 nosebleeds, DW, and this lopsided goofy-ass tree. Let's review. Caillou spent the 12 days before Christmas driving everyone insane with his ear-bleeding songs. He insisted on taking home the world's worst Christmas tree and turned it into a tinsel-covered eyesore. He gave his broken toys to charity and then nearly backpedaled at the last second. He upstaged Sarah at her own Christmas play and tried to bribe his sister into telling him what she got him for Christmas. And even when Christmas finally came, he nearly ruined it with his awful handmade gifts. Also, F you Rosie for stealing all your family stuff and trying to pass it off as Christmas gifts. And while Caillou was nowhere near as bad as he's been in the past, it wouldn't be an F you Caillou Christmas special if I didn't say F you Caillou.
Wait!
Is there a cartoon you want me to talk about? Patrons who join my $10 tier can pick which shows I cover on It's Just a Cartoon. There's a limited number of slots available, so sign up now.